Hello and welcome to Movie Rewind, where today we're going to be looking back at the movie Semi-Pro. Semi-Pro is a comedy film directed by Kent Alterman and released in 2008. Set in 1976, the movie follows the story of Jackie Moon, played by Will Ferrell, who is the owner of the team called the Flint Tropics in the ABA, American Basketball Association. Turns out that Jackie Moon used to be a singer. People knew him as a one-hit wonder because of that famous song he released back in the day. The song is "Love Me Sexy," and all the profits from that song were used to buy the basketball team for himself. Jackie Moon is not just the owner of the Flint Tropics, but he also plays the role of the head coach, starting power forward, and pre-game announcer. During a meeting of various team owners, the ABA commissioner announces that the association has decided to merge with the NBA. This poses a big problem for Jackie Moon and his Flint Tropics because only a limited number of slots could be moved to the more established league once the merger happens. The Flint Tropics are already frowned upon as the worst team in the league, and with this title, they bear the most risk of being dissolved. Thanks to his quick thinking, Jackie Moon proposes that there should be safety slots for at least 4 teams with the best records. Jackie Moon is ecstatic that the commissioner agrees. Now that the ABA was on the verge of merging with the NBA, Jackie Moon resolved to lead his team to success, which would automatically secure a spot for the Flint Tropics in the NBA. First, he realizes that he needs to recruit more talent on the team, beginning with an assistant coach. With no money to afford one, he trades the team's washing machine to the Kentucky Colonels in exchange for their backup point guard, Ed Monix. Ed Monix is played by Woody Harrelson, and he had previously won the NBA championship with the Boston Celtics. To make things more difficult for Jackie Moon, the commissioner of the ABA declares that finishing at the top 4 is not enough to be safe during the merger. Now the Flint Tropics also have to worry about having at least 2,000 fans at every home game. This is an even bigger problem for Jackie Moon because the team is already struggling financially and lacks both talent and support from the local community. Jackie Moon's first order of business was attracting more fans to their games. He does everything he can think of. He even resorts to the use of promotional gimmicks and desperate stunts like wrestling with a bear named Dewey during halftime, all in an attempt to boost the attendance of their games. Jackie Moon also increases the star power of their best player, Clarence Withers. Ed Monix taking over as the defensive coordinator and starting point guard also helps in this regard. He teaches the team a play he calls the puke. Ed Monix initially struggles to fit in with the team's unorthodox style, but he eventually gains their trust and helps Jackie Moon train them to become a better team. But the Flint Tropics still face numerous challenges, like internal conflicts amongst the teammates, more financial troubles, and of course, the relentless efforts of their rival teams to undermine their success. With a bit of luck and a lot of hard work, the Flint Tropics started to improve their game. This helps them to finally gain the attention of the local community, and their fan base begins to grow. Jackie's promotional stunts also start to pay off, and the team becomes a local sensation in no time. Under Ed Monix's guidance and training, the Flint Tropics kicked off a winning streak, which moved them from last to 5th position. This is a lot of progress, but the team acknowledges the fact that there is still a lot of work to be done. However, their success still attracts the attention of the NBA. The commissioner even decides to send a representative, played by Rob Corddry, to evaluate the overall performance of the Flint Tropics in order to determine their worthiness for the merger. Unfortunately, the NBA did not think the Flint Tropics possessed a large enough media market to allow them into the league. Even if they managed to beat the first-place San Antonio Spurs in the last game of the season, they were still not going to be deemed worthy enough. But of course, even with more pressing issues at hand, the Flint Tropics still had the occasional fights and setbacks. One time, Jackie Moon had to admit that he stole "Love Me Sexy" from a napkin his mother wrote on 3 weeks before she died. Eventually, Jackie Moon loses all of his assets, which only propounds their financial problems. This forces Jackie Moon to trade Clarence Withers to the San Antonio Spurs. This way, Clarence also has a chance to live out his dream of playing in the NBA. Admonix then reassembles and inspires the team to leave everything on the court. While they may not be able to continue the franchise after this season, they have come very far and still have a lot to prove. With some more luck, the Flint Tropics managed to move up the ladder and secure 4th place in the league. Because of this win, they automatically qualified for the playoffs. But in true fashion, their success is short-lived because they throw themselves into some more disagreements that lead to injuries, internal conflicts, and setbacks. As the team's morale begins to decline, Jackie Moon realizes that he needs to band everyone back together as a family if they want to stand a chance to win. In the final game of the season, the Tropics finally face their arch rivals, the San Antonio Spurs, in a do-or-die match. Going into the Spurs game, which Jackie Moon calls the Mega Bowl, the stakes are very high because this is the ultimate make-it-or-break-it match for the Flint Tropics. As the game kicks off, the Flint Tropics fall behind quickly. At the end of the first half, a hard foul play knocks Jackie Moon unconscious. Clarence Withers, who is now with the Spurs, feels bad about his decision and rejoins the Tropics in their locker room. He shows support for his former teammates even though he knows that it will destroy his chance at winning the NBA with the Spurs. Meanwhile, an unconscious Jackie imagines that he is in heaven with his mother. He apologizes for stealing her song, and she gives him a weapon in order to win. When the second half begins, the Tropics reveal their new weapon, which is the alley-oop. Thankfully, the return of Clarence Withers makes the alley-oop play even more effective. Unfortunately, everything almost unravels when the referee calls the play a foul. But Jackie Moon and Admonix are able to persuade the referee and explain that the alley-oop is a legitimate play. With just a few seconds left, they were behind by 2 points, 117 to 115, when the Spurs executed a defense against the alley-oop. Admonix calls a timeout and tells them to run the puke. The team then executed a few impressive passes and ended with the ball in Jackie Moon's hands under the net. Unfortunately, he gets hit by a foul play with 2 seconds left. This gives the Flint Tropics 2 free throws. Jackie Moon chooses to shoot with the granny style and sinks the first basket. The second shot bounces off the rim, but Admonix tips in the rebound right at the buzzer, which earns them 2 points to win the game. The crowd at the arena and the streets of Flint goes wild in celebration of this win. The San Antonio Spurs coach offers Clarence Withers his position back, while the ABA commissioner offers Jackie Moon a position on the staff of the NBA assistant commissioner as a marketing director. Despite being the underdogs, the Flint Tropics were able to band together and put on a remarkable performance. With the support of their fans and Jackie's leadership, they managed to secure a victory and secure their place in the NBA merger.